busy, and I love noise.
You love noise. What do you mean by that?
Well, I love noise, and I like to stir things up, you know. See these gongs?
Yeah.
When the wind blows, okay, now when the wind blows, and then once in a while, just about this time of day, a train comes through. You see this little eccentric? Look down in there.
I see you got a frying pan over there too,
Yeah,
huh?
well, the wind hits it and it bongs this. Okay? This is probably something you've never seen before. That's a blacksmith mandrel. It makes things round. You set it on there, and wherever you see daylight and you hit it, it drops. And when you don't see no more daylight, it's round. Okay?
Oh, I follow you, sure.
Sure. Makes sense, don't it?
Right, yeah.
Okay, this is a pineapple out of my old sawmill. That feeds the lumber to the line bar before it goes through that planer. And that spins up at a pretty high RPM, and that's got 20 years of work on it. And that's industrial hard chrome alloy. It's never wore off. And these are the way I build my tractor seats, so that I can mow and can cement. Isn't that neat?
That's fantastic.
Voila. My goldfish tank.
That's fantastic. This is such a great space. John Wayne, life is tough. It's tougher if you're stupid. The belief that some cosmic Jewish zombie can make you live forever if you symbolically eat his flesh and telepathically tell him that you accept him as your master, so he can remove an evil force from your soul that is present in humanity because a rib woman was convinced by a talking snake to eat from a magical tree. Makes perfect sense.
Yes, doesn't it? Let me get my beer. This is my most prized.
Hang on a second. Now it says you don't know a woman till you've met her in court.
It's just pretty much the truth.
Huh.
So, this is another one of my drums. A steel ball
And look at your tin can airplane.
welded to a cable.
Huh.
There's not very many people can do a braze job like that. Burns your wires off. Yeah, that old thing. I should put another propeller on.
So how long you been working on this?
It's just evolved over a period of 40 years. See, I built this for a guy, when I was working in the sawmill, I rented my shop. Isn't this a beautiful bonsai?
Yeah.
I've had that 45 years. I just trimmed it up the
Really?
other day, yeah.
Now you say you used to work in a sawmill,
Yeah.
and then you had a junk shop too, or a junkyard?
A wrecking yard. My sons took it over when I had my heart attack. So,
Huh. So let me ask you this: why do you, what do you really love to do most of all?
I do an awful lot of visiting with a lot of my old friends from the sawmill. I'm very surprised that they're not down here tonight. And most of them go back with me. Even before I went in the wrecking yard, they stayed at the mill, but we always stayed very close because it's right here in town, and my three oldest sons worked out there for years. And then in '91, I decided to leave the sawmill, and my third son, Steve, went into the wrecking yard business with me, and we've been at it ever since. And so it's been pretty good to us.
So let me ask you this: when
Let me finish this
Oh,
story.
sure, go to it.
The guy was renting his shop,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted a place to drive his cars up on to work on them. You see that? So I put long ramps on that and built this for him. And right after I got it built, he got his wife got cabin fever and wanted to move back to the city, and that was in '82. So I cut the ramps down to keep people from screwing around up here, and I just started adding on to this. And people have brought stuff from all over. A lot of stuff people know what it is. A lot of this machinery, people don't understand what it does or what it. See that thing behind you is a saw set for a round circle saw. That handle, you load that with the spring, and then that handle comes down. You see that big round shaft that it comes down and hits the sawtooth. And the saw is sitting in one of those pegs at the right height, and you adjust that up and down to make every other tooth, see? This is my little ecosystem. I have water dripping there for my birds. You see the feeders on the post?
I saw your feeders in the post.
Yeah. Well,
So when the time comes when things aren't always going the way you want them to, and you feel that you need a little motivation and inspiration, what do you like to do?
I am a voluminous reader. I read to my wife every morning. We get up, and that way we enjoy the books together, and we can discuss them together. And we don't read junk. We usually read history books, biographies. All the greats. I do like some fiction. I have read everything that James Michener put a pen to. E. Annie Prowl writes a beautiful book. William Least Heat Moon wrote beautiful books. Joseph Heller wrote one good book. So other two were. We waited 20 years, remember, for another one to come out.
Okay, so which one are you saying is his good book?
Catch 20.
Yeah, I thought you were going there.
Yeah.
So how long you been married?
56 years. Just a minute, this is probably her. Mom? Ella, I'll be right there. Okay.
So let me ask you this. What's the secret to a successful marriage?
Well,
Because not everybody can claim 56 years.
Well, there's a lot of secrets. Basically, and the most important thing, in spite of tremendous temptation, if you ever go to the well once, you're going to go again. You know, let me tell you what I did in my life. I grew up on the prairie in Kansas. When I was 10 years old, my family moved me out here. I was just a total renegade. At 17, I went in the Air Force. I got married at 17, and I worked on aircraft. I did a really good job. You know, I was trained well. And then I come out. I went to work for 14 years for Sears Roebuck as an appliance repairman. So what my point is that when you get into people's houses and the woman's there by herself, there's always so much temptation, and they come on to you for sure. I mean, they always have, you know. It's just you'll run into those kind. So then we decided, we lived down around Santa Rosa, California, about 100 miles down, and we decided we want to get out the country, so we moved up here to Emerald Triangle, the dope capital of the world.
Okay, so let me ask you this. The two things so far I've gathered that keep a good marriage together is, one, no horsing around, and two, reading to each other.
Well, that's part of it, but you got to just you got to work at it every day. You got to connect every day, and you have to respect one another. And when my wife hands me the sugar, I say thank you. I got a few more minutes here. We got married beat up Studebaker. So I told her, I said, some of these days when I get ahead, I'll buy you a nice car. Out of the year that we got married, and I did. I restored a car for her first, but she didn't like it. Is that 35? Yeah. You would like any kind of beer or drink?
No,
soda?
thanks. I'm good.
Kind of ratty inside, but they're going to repost it. That ought to finish your video. What do you think, Mike? A nice car, ain't it?
Holy cow!
And it runs just like it smells. And
When did you buy this?
quite a while back,
Huh?
we run it about once a week. And this is the one I restored that she didn't like. I bought this one already restored. It had 1,300 miles on it from the restoration shop, and I had it shipped out here from Texas. Bought it sight unseen from Austin. So, this is a Fiat Spider I restored. It's been sitting there 13 years. I've never started it.
Huh?
Okay, I'll give it a tour.